come closer. Let me tell you about a place where the water is so deep and so still that the sunlight falls through it like cathedral light, slow and blue and full of wonder. Down there, where the seafloor blooms with coral and soft silver sand, there lived a king of the ocean, and he had 6 daughters, 6 mermaid princesses, each more lovely than the last. But the youngest was different. She was quieter than her sisters, more watchful. She had a voice like the clearest bell you've ever heard, and a heart that ached for things she couldn't name. She kept a little garden of red flowers, tended it tenderly, and at the center of it, she placed a marble statue, a beautiful boy, carved from white stone, that had tumbled down from a shipwreck above. She would sit beside him and dream, and dream, and dream. Now, mermaids were not permitted to rise to the surface until their 15th year. And oh, the waiting. Each sister returned from her first glimpse of the human world with stories of cities lit like scattered stars, of churchyard bells, of geese flying south across an orange sky. The little mermaid listened to every word. But when her own 15th birthday finally came, when she rose through the darkening fathoms and broke the surface at last, she found something no sister had described. A great tall ship, lanterns burning amber in the dusk, and on the deck, a young prince, dark-haired, laughing, very much alive. There were fireworks that night, gold and crimson, blossoms bursting over the black water. She watched him standing in the light of them, and something shifted in her chest, quiet and permanent, like a stone settling to the bottom of the sea. Then the storm came, sudden and savage, the way storms at sea always are. The waves rose up like dark hills. The ship groaned and tilted, and before the night was over, it was gone, broken apart, and the prince was in the water, unconscious, sinking. She found him. She held his head above the surface through all those long, churning hours, keeping him alive by sheer and stubborn love. By morning, the sea had calmed. She swam him to a gentle shore, a warm sandy cove near a white temple, and laid him there, carefully, the way you'd set down something precious. She hid behind the rocks and watched. She watched him breathe. She watched color return to his face. She watched a young woman from the temple find him, and she watched him open his eyes and smile at her, not at the Little Mermaid. He never even knew she was there. She could not forget him. She tried. She tended her garden. She listened to her grandmother's stories. She watched the surface shimmer overhead. But it was no use. Love, when it takes hold like that, does not let go easily. So she went to see the sea witch, down through the black water, past the writhing polyps and the white bones of the drowned. The witch was waiting as if she'd known all along. The bargain was simple and terrible. Human legs, yes. The chance to walk on land to find her prince, yes. But her voice, her beautiful singing voice, the one thing she had that was truly her own, gone, cut away, and there was more. If the prince married another, her heart would break, and at the first light of dawn, she would dissolve into sea foam. No second chances, no going back. She drank the potion anyway. Every step was pain. That is what no one tells you about transformation, that becoming something new costs something real. She walked as if on the edges of sharp blades. The witch had warned her, and it was true. But she walked. She walked along white palace corridors in a gown the prince gave her, and she danced. Oh, she danced beautifully, even as her feet bled inside her slippers and her eyes never once let on. The prince adored her. He called her his little foundling, his dear, silent companion. He told her she reminded him of something, a face he half remembered from a dream. He didn't know it was her face. He didn't know she had saved his life. She could not tell him. She had no voice left to tell him anything. She could only look at him with her whole heart in her eyes and hope that somehow, he would see. He didn't see. Or perhaps he saw, but not clearly enough. Because one day, the prince told her about a princess, a girl from a neighboring kingdom he was to meet. Purely out of duty, he said. Nothing more. But when he saw her, his face changed. His eyes lit with sudden recognition. It was her, he said, the girl from the temple, the one who found him on the shore. He thought she had saved him. He thought she was his rescuer. And what could the Little Mermaid do? She had no voice. She could not say, "It was me. I held you up all night. I carried you to safety." All she could do was smile and help him dress for his wedding and stand at the prow of the wedding ship as the torches burned and the music played, watching the celebration of everything she had sacrificed with a stillness that was almost unbearable to witness. Her sisters came to her that night, rising from the dark water below the ship. They had cut their long hair, given it to the sea witch in exchange for a knife. They pressed it into her hands, their faces pale and urgent. Before sunrise, they said, if she killed the prince before sunrise, if she let his blood fall upon her feet, she could come back. She could come home. She held the knife for a long moment, standing outside the chamber where the prince slept. The ship rocked gently. Stars reflected in the water below. She looked at the blade. She thought about the cold, deep sea, about her garden, about everything she used to be. And then she looked through the doorway at him, sleeping peacefully, dreaming whatever princes dream. And she set the knife down. She let it fall into the sea. Some loves are simply larger than your own survival. The sky began to lighten, rose and pale gold at the edges of the world. She felt herself dissolving softly, like breath in cold air. No pain this time, just release. But here's the thing I want you to hold on to as you sit there by the fire. She did not disappear. She became something lighter, a spirit of the air, invisible and free, drifting over the waves she had loved so long. And those spirits, they say, do quiet good in the world. They cool a fevered child's forehead. They carry the scent of rain to parched and weary travelers. They are present in every soft wind that moves through summer grass. She never got the love she longed for, but she gave everything she had, and it made her more, not less. That is the secret at the heart of this story. Sacrifice and love and grace. The sea still rolls on, and somewhere in the morning air, she is still there,